seems to be a little noisy in Philadelphia, especially when you're talking about the Eagles offense. This week, the noise a little louder after a report suggested that Eagles coaches and players were frustrated with quarterback Jalen Hurts' on-field play. Now, Hurts was asked about it, and he said, look, nobody's brought that up to me, and I take great pride in being accountable. His head coach said, noise, nothing new for this team. We've actually had success despite it.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dallas. This is the first home game for the Cowboys since the loss of their teammate Marshawn Nealon, who took his life on November 6th. Nealon, who was just in his second season with the Cowboys, was just 24, honored several ways pregame. Odigizua carrying the flag out. You see his jersey displayed in the bench area. A lot of emotions still running through this entire building. His girlfriend, Catalina, who is pregnant, and his family here in attendance, being supported by this team, by this community, and by this league here today in the wake of their loss. Heavy hearts, and certainly carrying his light forward, in the words of Dak Prescott, guys.
Yeah, just 24 years old. So sad, Tom. Thank you. I want to tell you about Marshawn Nealon, right? The website you see on the screen, it's a memorial fund to benefit Marshawn's girlfriend, Catalina, as Tom mentioned, and their unborn child. Many of the Dallas players, staff, the Jones family have already made donations, and we hope you do too. Just such a terrible situation. Heavy hearts today for all.
You're in a constant quest of getting better. You sense it in those moments from the coaches and from the players and from myself. Like, we know how to win, and we're going to figure out a way to win the game.
Yeah, and really no one's better at the Eagles than doing it. And, you know, at times, Nick Sirianni told us it may not look like everybody wants, but this is why Eagles fly. Get it? Fly, Eagles fly. Under Nick Sirianni, first all-time in one-score games, 32-4. Second all-time when they win the turnover battle. I don't know what else you want to see.
That's formula for winning every single week, and this offense has done such a great job all season long. And even though it hasn't been the most prolific offense, taking care of the football with a great defense and then having enough carries to control the clock is always a great formula for winning. And they also ignore the noise outside of the building. They don't care what anyone else thinks. They win their way.
You know, I was next to you on the field during the game with Aaron and Tom, and maybe this got A.J. Brown going.
It's always fun whenever I kind of a 48-year-old retired quarterback feels a football in his hands, and you see one of the all-pro wideouts. You got to see, you know, you can just pop it out there and play a little catch.
I tell you, your velocity looked pretty good.
Yeah, Jalen's looking pretty good today with his velocity.
He is. 3rd and 3 here. The review, Eagles got a big break, and they take advantage, and it's 14-0. As good a rivalry as there is in the NFL. This one goes back a long time. 134th meeting, Eagles and Cowboys in Philadelphia, off to a flying start. 14-0. Dallas went for it on the opening drive on 4th and 3. They got denied. And then the Eagles, 4th and 10, they were punting or roughing the punter. But after we looked at it, you could tell that he got a piece. They had a challenge, but they didn't. The Eagles go down and score there. So their offense is humming. And now Dallas has some work to do, down 14-0 late in this first. Hey, the greatest rivalry in sports is here. Top-ranked defending national champion Ohio State heads to the Big House, looking to snap Michigan's 4-game win streak in the game. Starts 9 a.m. A special 3-hour big noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor, then to Ohio State, Michigan at noon, only on Fox.
Week 12 continues with Sunday Night Football on NBC and Monday Night Football on ESPN. Then Week 13 kicks off with a John Madden Thanksgiving celebration starting at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And tune in for a special Black Friday game on Prime Video. Stream games live on your mobile device with NFL Plus.
40. So, Tom, the Eagles say, okay, we see you in the 28th pass offense in the league, and we laugh in your face because they are crushing it today.
Yeah, 20 minutes into the game, he has almost 160 yards passing, distributing the ball well. It's the kind of usual cast of characters, but this offensive passing game that everyone talks about all the time, that it's kind of the thing they worry about the most, it just comes to life in moments where they need it.
All right, time now for today's player snapshot, brought to you by Google Pixel. We're looking at George Pickens, second in the league in receiving yards coming into today. 14 catches of 20 or more yards. That's third best in the NFL. He has been just sensational in his first year in Dallas. Great shot of AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas. It's been all Philly in this half, but Dallas self-inflicted mistakes have certainly contributed to the effort, but the Eagles have played really well, looking for their 5th straight win.
Good
that's
choice.
What they will do.
Yeah, good choice at 14 points. You got kind of everything at your disposal. Really haven't done much to the Cowboys defense to slow them down. They're getting the ball coming out. They're in great position.
Feel good. Time to get more stats with Geico as the Eagles up 21-7 at the break. And we look at the yardage in this one. Kind of funny, right? Dallas has more yards you would have never guessed, but the Eagles doing what they do. Jalen Hurts playing great. They've got 2 turnovers and they've scored off that, and that's why they're in front. That's usually why they're in front, with a good defense. And so it's 21-7 at the break. Philadelphia in front. Kurt Menefee and the guys in LA. The Verizon halftime show starts right now. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. But A.J. Brown, touchdown, Eagles.
I just love the rhythm that Jalen Hurts is in right now.
The old tush push.
Virtually unstoppable.
Cowboys needed that. Oh boy, our tape crew was creative today. That was today's game flow presented by Progressive. The old shootout. The Eagles are gunslingers so far, 21-7. They're up at the break and they get it to start the third quarter. Tom Brady and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So the Cowboys just sloppy. They showed some flashes. They got on the board just for the half. How do they really get back into this game, though, TB?
Well, it starts on their defense. Their defense has come out there, and they just no more of those kind of self-inflicted wounds on defense either. The offside that killed them on that second scoring drive for the Phillies offense. They just can't get multiple opportunities at third down. This is a tough offense to stop anyway. They can't give them any extra chances. Then this Cowboys offense has the weapons with Dak and this duo of receivers, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, to get them back in the game. Again, it's only 14 points. It's been a lot bigger deficits like this than overcome in the history of the NFL, just one at a time. But again, you're playing against a team that, in the Eagles, that they're going to do everything they can to kind of fend them off.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles defense has allowed 23 points the last 2.5 games. So it'll be a tough task, and they get it first. And they'll start on this return from Will Shipley, who looks for a little seam up across the 30. In our Verizon sideline report, we go downstairs to Tom.
Well, KB, not surprisingly, while Brian Schottenheimer did credit the Cowboys for scoring at the end of the half, he then cataloged all the mistakes they made that Tom just talked about, whether it is the turnovers or the penalties or all the self-inflicted wounds, the exact thing that Tom said. He also said defensively, we have to do a much better job of trying to make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable and getting some pass rush on him. Clearly, he said, without that, we're not really going to turn it around. Our message always is get the game to the fourth quarter. That's where it is won or lost, and that's what we're going to have to do in this half, guys.
Yeah, got a little mountain to climb. Eagles, Jalen Hurts playing great. Go downstairs to Aaron.
Kev, I asked Nick Sirianni, what was all that talk about how much Jalen Hurts is frustrating everybody with, you know, his lack of play of the offense? And he laughed and he said he's been tremendous in this first half, in complete control, had some clutch throws. He did tell me with his offense he harped on the penalties. They had 5 of them. He said we've actually had to bail ourselves out a little bit on the offense. We need to stay ahead of the sticks here in the second half, and also gave the Cowboys a lot of credit. He said Dak Prescott, great quarterback. They have a lot of weapons. We need to make sure we eliminate the explosive plays here defensively.
No. Well, you can bid on our girl Erin Andrews' cleats right now by going to NFL.com/auction, typing in her name in the search bar. 100% of proceeds from the sale donated to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. My cause, my cleats. Erin, great job. Signed autograph, too. We love that. Those look great. And obviously supporting St. Jude, which is an amazing cause. But why don't we acknowledge Dak Prescott, now the all-time leading passer in Cowboys history. I mean, that's what he did on that pass to George Pickens. 34,192 yards. He passed Tony Romo, of course, Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach. A little different game, too.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's pretty amazing for 4th-round draft pick. And Dak told us, hey, he said, did you ever think 4th-round draft pick 10 years ago you'd be the all-time leading passer in Cowboys history? He said, well, I was a lot more arrogant back then. I probably did, but I'm thankful and humbled to have an opportunity. He's in trouble here, and he's humbled and taken down. Well, welcome back to AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas. Eagles, Cowboys, and the Eagles offense, who was on fire to start the game, scored on their first 3 drives, and last 3 they've been quiet, a couple 3-and-outs, and then halftime. So look at the Eagles and how they win. Well, they know how to win. That's what Nick Sirianni says, and you know what? He's right. 4 turnovers, first 10 games, tied for the fewest since 1960. They never turn it over. And then the red zone, they're the best in the league. They don't get there all that often. When they do, they score almost every time, 75%. That's a pretty good formula.
Yeah, turnovers, obviously maintaining possession of the football, and then not putting your defense in a bad position either with turnovers. That's what this offense has done incredibly well. And then the threat when they do get into the red area, they're the top red area offense in the league. So you score points, you don't turn the ball over and give up short fields. The way this defense seems to be playing lately, it's been a great recipe for winning.
Hey, IndyCar's back on Fox, right? March 1st. Opener in St. Petersburg, but they're going to have a race here in Arlington. This is going to be the track around AT&T Stadium. See where the Cowboys and the Rangers play, and how sick is this going to be, Tom? And then there you go. So it comes back March 1st. It starts the season, and just to kind of give us a little feel before the game, you're catching up with 2-time IndyCar Series champ Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, had a great conversation. Talked about all types of racing, F1. We talked about the Indy 500 last year. He said, how was that fastest lap? I said, it was great. I never want to do it again. But I was with Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion. We had a time of our life. What an experience that was.
Yeah. 21-7 Eagles here in the third quarter as we welcome to the broadcast booth. And Tom, you know, there's so much emotion for this game, right? The passing of Marshawn Nealon, who took his life a couple weeks ago, and the Cowboys played a game last week on the road, but this is their first home game. Yeah. And they had all that energy last week, and they seem to have the opposite of that this week. I'm not saying that's the reason why the score is, but I'm just curious as a player how the emotions and the hard going through that right now.
Monday night game on the road. They played very well. They obviously take the flight home, and it's a short week, and you're playing against a good team. It's a lot of these things are so emotional, and there's no playbook for what this team has gone through, but they just did come out a little bit flat today to start and behind a very good football team on both sides of the ball.
There were some great games around the league today. I mean, really down to the wire. So many of them. Let's take a look, keep you updated. How about the Bears? They're 8-3. Best start since 2018. Ben Johnson's done a great job. And the Packers, they get back on the winning side. Shut down the Vikings 23-6. The Lions in a wild game survive overtime against the Giants. Jahmyr Gibbs had a monster game, so that sets up Thanksgiving Day. We will be in Detroit. Packers, Lions. Our coverage begins at 11 Eastern. How good is that game going to be? The NFC North. Bears are 8-3. Packers are 7-3-1. The Lions are 7-4. Well, we got some action here, right here in Arlington. It's 21-14 Eagles late in this third quarter. Texas, Eagles 21, Cowboys 14. Here we are through 3 quarters. You look at some of the numbers. Dallas outgaining the Eagles. And the Eagles have been outgained a lot. It doesn't seem to faze them.
Every game.
Every game, and they somehow find a way to win. But I think that what's notable, Tom, is the Eagles had 164 pass yards at half. They've got 42 in the second half. It's not been nearly as effective.
Yeah, just no rhythm by this Philadelphia offense. And Saquon's been hit behind the line of scrimmage when they hand it off, so it's just turned into much more of a passing game. And it's not really a rhythmic passing game. I would say they're a little more streaky when they do find their groove like they were early. But now that their corners are up there contesting these throws, they're a little bit harder to hit for this offense.
30. Today's next-gen stats powered by AWS. It's the pressure which Jalen Hurts carved up early, not lately.
Did a great job. This is him on the left side. He feels a little pressure. He's got the one-on-one backside with A.J. Brown as he feels the safety vacate here. Decent time in the pocket, that little escapability that he's got to get out in space, and he loves his vision, so much confidence in his legs. And this is the one that's a little bit fortunate. I mean, nothing he could do about that. When that defensive end, that was Fowler, came in there and knocked the hand, that ball pops up in the air. Lucky it wasn't an interception, but this Cowboys defense has been so good the last 5-6 drives.
In a moment. Well, the Eagles, who usually are the team that doesn't make mistakes, they've made a bunch. Jake Elliott, so good. That one a little long, 56, and just pushed it slightly right. Saquon Barkley, sure hands, hadn't fumbled all year until then. Cowboys recover. And then this, Xavier Gibson fielded this on the lung for some reason. Cowboys, great pursuit. They forced a fumble, but they failed to score.
Yeah.
And so that's where we are right now. The big thing is Eagles turnovers, fourth quarter.
Sure.
Cowboys haven't scored any points off it.
Yeah, and that's part of they get in the red area. And this bend, don't break defense of Philly is really tightened up in the red zone. They're not there now. They've got to pretend like they can't bend much at all here with Aubrey sitting on the Cowboys sideline.
The Cowboys win, and maybe Nealon looking down from above.
Emotional week for everybody in the organization. Huge win on Monday night. Come home and they deliver against the defending world champions. Who better than to have Aubrey out there, the best player at his position in the entire league, drilling it home on a 42-yarder. Coach Schottenheimer said it was very emotional last week. There's no playbook for it. You just got to trust your instincts and lean on the people you can confide in. They confided in one another.
What a game. Cowboys in a thriller. 21-point comeback and Aubrey the walk-off field goal. And they beat the Eagles and keep their playoff hopes alive. The OT presented by Ford comes your way next.